back to Lauren's Take. Oh my goodness, we have Amber with us for the first time in 2024. Wow. How you doing, Amber? It's been a while.
I'm doing good.
Good
to be back.
Good to be back. We're so happy to have you here on Lauren's Take. For those who are new to the channel, this is my sister Amber. We have a lot of new people since you've been on here. So, you know, everyone, this is Amber. She comes and joins me sometimes in these videos. She's a little funny one.
Just to make them better.
You know what? Actually, she just wanted to join because today we are talking about the finale of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Amber has been my watching partner for the entire season, aside from the first two episodes, because I had the watch party. She watched them before I did, but we're not going to talk about that.
Fun.
You know what? We're not going to talk about that. Miss Ma'am, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, that was good.
So, we've been watching them every week together on Tuesday night, so we're both kind of depressed because we don't know what we're going to do with our lives now, since Tuesday nights no longer have Percy Jackson episodes to watch. But we are going to chat about the last episode, talk about how we feel overall about the show, and hopes that we have for season 2. So before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already, and let's get into it. All right, so a quick synopsis of the last episode. We finally get the long-awaited Ares fight. It was amazing. It was so cool. We'll talk about it in a little bit. We also get Percy's conversation with Zeus and Poseidon on Olympus. We also get the big reveal of who the heck is the actual lightning thief. Spoiler alert, it's not Clarice, it's Luke. For all the book fans, we already knew this, of course, but it was really fun kind of seeing the people who hadn't read the books, their thinking and whatnot. The fact that I was watching an interview with our main trio today, and the fact that some people thought Sally was the lightning thief.
What?
I was very confused by that, and when Walker heard it, he was like,
That isn't, no.
He was like, that would be so messed up. I was like, yeah.
I don't even, what?
Yeah.
I don't even.
So, that was weird. We also get the final hug between our main trio. It was adorable. Grover got his surgeon's license. We had some more Persephone moments because, of course, we did. We also got another conversation with Kronos, which we're going to talk about that. I really like that.
Can we talk about why Percy called Kronos grandpa? I was like, Lord Jesus.
Yes, and
this man has tormented you, but you're like, you know what? Family is family.
Yes.
So, you know, he's the grandpa, you know, he may be a toxic grandpa, but he still is.
Yeah, but we'll be talking about all of our thoughts in the next clip. But definitely, those are all the major things that happened. We also had I wanted to talk specifically about the heart-to-heart between Percy and Poseidon, because that was a moment. It was huge. It was everything. And you know, the whole Luke being revealed as the lightning thief, that's a whole conversation in itself. But we're just going to get started with the whole overall thoughts of the episode. All right, Am, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. Like, I came in with high expectations. I think all of my expectations were met. I think from the very beginning, they drew us in. And, you know, the flashbacks with him and Luke leading up to, you know, the ultimate revelation.
Yes.
Or revelation. I think it was just cinematic genius, and I really enjoyed, like, the actor who plays Ares. He's just so committed, and the whole fight was just so good. It was so intense. I was literally, like, on the edge of my seat watching it, even though I knew what was going to happen, but it was so good. And, you know, they just kind of keep you guessing. Because, like, you think something is going to go one way and then it went another way. And I just think they really told this episode really well. And I think it was the most Percy Jackson episode to date.
Yes. I've seen many fans on Twitter and Instagram really talk about how this episode in particular was someone literally said, you know, this Percy Jackson episode, Percy Jackson so hard. It Percy Jackson the most out of any of the episodes. And I was like, that's so true. I don't know what it was. This episode was on some Percy Jackson steroids. Like, it was just pure Percy Jackson vibes. And which is so funny because we've been watching the show every single week, but I don't know what it was about it. Like, the tone of the episode from the beginning was just like, okay, this is the thing. This is the moment. We're about to do it. And so it automatically started off with the Ares fight. And I think that fight was so awesome. They had specific lines from the book, which I was really excited about. Like, you definitely made an enemy, for life. That was huge. I don't know if that's the exact line, but I think it's very much very, very close to what Ares actually said. And then the whole, they really paid attention to the details in that scene, which was great. So I was really excited about it. And I don't know, Walker as Percy in that scene, we had another Persassy moment, but more so, what was your nickname that you had for him?
Percy, you gon' find out, Jackson.
Yes.
He was not playing. He was like, didn't I tell you? And I'm just like, Ares must have some guts to want to fight the son of Poseidon near a body of water. Like, what were you on? Like, did you not think about that, like, at all? Maybe he was thinking, whatever. Like, I don't even think he's really connected to Poseidon yet, so I don't think he's going to show up. And I think when he started to see that wave, like, turning up, he was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
I just ticked off the wrong demigod. Can I go back? But it was just really cool. Like, the whole wave scene, they did it really nicely.
Yes.
So.
That was so cool. I think what we really got to see is the arrogance of Ares. Ares is so annoying. Like, he is probably one of my least favorite gods because he's such a jerk and so annoying. And Percy can't stand him for the rest of the series, which is great. We love that. And so I think Walker and Adam did such a phenomenal job demonstrating that dynamic between them, and definitely kind of set the precedent for how they will be throughout the rest of the series should it continue. I think it should. But anyway, we're going to keep it going. I think that scene was awesome. And then also, I love how Annabeth didn't know, like, any of this, and then she was just like, what? Like, literally pulled over her side. What? That was so funny. Yeah, it was great. It was great. Then, of course, right after the fight with Ares, they go to the cabin, because they got the helm now, and they go to the cabin. I forgot why they went to the cabin. Were they thinking Sally was there? Because Alecto was there to get the helm, and then we thought Sally was going to be there, but Sally wasn't there. That's what happened. And then that's the iconic moment where Percy's like, I still have to go to Olympus. Though in the show, of course, the deadline had already passed, so it was kind of like, you don't really have to send it back if you don't want to. You could just keep it, do whatever you want. But he was like, no, I have to do this. And I love this moment because I don't think we're really talking enough about how Percy was like, no, y'all, I have to do this. Even though Grover and Annabeth both were like, Zeus is going to kill you. Like, we want you to understand Zeus is going to kill you. He was like, I don't care. I have to make this right. And I think that just speaks volumes to the type of person Percy is, because Percy is, one, very, very loyal, but he's also a person he's a genuinely good person, which we love. We love seeing that. And I think Walker did a phenomenal job demonstrating that. And then we had the iconic moment that's in the novel of Annabeth giving him her necklace. And y'all.
Yeah, that was good. I liked how they didn't make like a huge deal of it. I think what has been really good about like a lot of the Perciveth scenes is that they're also subtle, even though there's a lot going on there. Mm-hmm. Like the eye contact was there. Percy just looked, like, oh wow. Like looking at Annabeth through new eyes. Like if we were to go back to like the second episode, he was more like, why is this girl stalking me? Why is she like trying to like see my downfall? Like what is going on here? But now like seeing the progression that they've made to this final episode, it was just really sweet. And even for Annabeth to give her her necklace, or give him her necklace, and then like to say you're going to need all the luck you can get. I just thought that was just the icing on the cake. It was just so sweet and so subtle, and so I really enjoyed that scene.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I think what is the greatest thing about the show is that they really tried to make sure they have the most iconic moments in the novel. If they weren't able to fit everything in there, they really tried to have those most meaningful and most significant moments in the novels represented in the show. So them making sure that they did have the scene, and it was still very like, it was kind of like that big moment, like you're like, oh my god, she's doing it, I was screaming. And how they went about it I saw someone talk about it on Twitter too, and how she was on the side of him doing it so he can see her. They were like, yes, it's like she wants him to know that she's doing this and trying to make sure that, I forgot the exact thing that they said, but I was like, oh, yeah, this is good. And that look, our dear Walker as Percy gave our dear Leah Beth. You know, y'all know, throughout the entire time, if you've been here the entire time, thank you. You know I've been talking about the not glares, the glances, the stares, the gazes, all the words to talk about how they be looking at each other. And that scene was very, very, very telling. I loved it very, very much. So yeah, we love Percy Beth. And Grover's over here, poor thing, third wheeling. But you know, it's all good. It's all good.
We love you, Grover. Stay strong.
You're doing the thing. Anyway, so yeah, I really loved that aspect of it. Now the whole conversation with Zeus. May he rest in peace. Lance Reddick, you gave a phenomenal final performance. This was actually his very last performance before he passed away. And I said it to Amber last night, he absolutely ate that role down. He did the thing. He really did. He set the precedent for what Zeus embodies, what Zeus is. You know, why did I say what Zeus is? Who Zeus is. And I loved it. I loved every single moment of it. He had me scared. I was like, okay, Percy, maybe you need to back down a little bit. He's kind of scaring me. Because he was just that, like, he commanded power. And we loved that. I think Lance did a phenomenal job.
I agree. I didn't know how it was going to be like, but as soon as I saw that he was casted, I was like, okay, I think I kind of see where this is going. Like, it's going to be like that, not overt power, but it's kind of like that subtleness in the character, like almost a calmness, which makes it even scarier.
True.
So I thought it was just really good, and Walker and Lance did a fantastic job. And it's going to be really sad moving forward to see Zeus and not see Lance playing him, but I hope whoever they cast, they're going to have to bring it, because Lance already brought it, and to us, he will always be Zeus. Yeah. So it's going to be really emotional seeing it in the further seasons, but he did not come to play.
No, not at all. And that, you know, that whole moment where Percy, you know, was really, like, that last moment when Zeus literally almost killed our man because he decided to be Persassy once again. And, you know, Zeus was not having it. He was like, the fact that I was about to let you walk out of here alive and you have the audacity to talk back to me? Okay. And then Poseidon stepping in. Child, the whole time I was wondering, I literally said, where's your daddy, Percy? Like, where he at? And then he comes and protects his son. Then he said, I surrender. Or whatever that accent is, it's amazing. I surrender. And then Zeus is like, why are you doing this? He was like, that is my child.
He was like, why are you butting in? He didn't have an accent, but he was like, why are you butting in? Like, this could have been over. Like, he 100%. Is a forbidden child anyway. Like, he should have been gone a long time ago. And Zeus was like, no, let me remind you, you also have a forbidden child, Thalia. And then I saw this really funny tweet where it was like, when Percy was saying how Thalia met a pine cone's fate.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
I wonder if Zeus heard that. It would have been really funny if you would have just heard, like, a thunder crackle, like, with that comment. Like, that would have been so funny.
She met a pine cone's fate. That sounded weird. I'm sorry. Because when I get tongue twisted, y'all, I apologize. But, yes. That was one of the funniest tweets I saw last night. Oh, my gosh. Because it's so true. Because it's like, not Poseidon trying to defend Thalia or, you know, really give her all that credit when he knows darn well that his son says she met a pine cone's fate. That tweet had me weak. But that's so true. And I think, you know, Zeus is like, you know, try me again. And then he disappeared. We're like,
yeah, because he was like, make sure I don't ever see him again.
Yeah, and I'm like...
Oh. It won't be the last.
Percy will never ride a plane ever in his life.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No, not at all. And so I think that was like really, really huge. And so the whole conversation between Poseidon and Percy was everything. I just really loved it. I thought it was just so beautiful and so just heartfelt. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at them, look at them. But, you know, I think what was so interesting about this conversation is that I think my only problem with it was we didn't get like the iconic line, you know, I just want you to know that you are the true son of the sea god. And then also when he talks about Sally and he's like, your mother is truly a queen among women. Because those are like just, oh, I love those lines so much. But I think what was interesting is I was talking to Amber about this is how Poseidon, like in those moments that Percy's kind of giving him the end to say those lines, he's kind of like, depression. I'm going to give you a pearl instead because I don't want to talk about my feelings. Yay, let's do it. Bye. I thought that was really funny and really sad at the same time because we're just like, dude, why'd you do that? But anyway, it was great. But then
we were thinking it was like a theory that he probably got in trouble with Zeus a bit too much for today. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna take my losses and I'll tell you about how I feel about your mother another day.
Not
but
the accent.
Right now, you need to go.
That's neither here nor there, as Amber usually says. So then, of course, they go back to Camp Half-Blood. And now this is interesting here. This whole thing, the Camp Half-Blood saga, right? It was a lot going on because, you know, we kind of went right in and, you know, Percy, you know, everyone's clapping. They're like, yeah, Percy, you did it, dude. Yeah, you did it. And, you know, we get that beautiful Percy hug that we all waited so long for, that we kept seeing in the trailer. And what we loved was how Percy then looks and he sees Clarice and Clarice gives him that look where she's like, oh, I'm going to kill him. Because he essentially embarrassed her dad. Or her dad really embarrassed himself.
You know what I really would have liked?
Please stop with the British accent.
You know what I really would have liked? Because it just didn't seem like Clarice. Like, we saw how angry she can be. Like, in episode 1 and 2. Or really 2.
Yeah.
So, like, just to see her stand off, she would be that person to move people out the way to get to Percy. And, like, say something to him. And be like, how dare you say this about me? And then, it really would have been cool if Percy was like, then if you didn't do it, who did?
Ooh.
And then, like, so then we could have started to see the wheels turning in Percy's head. So then instead of when we find out, like, in the woods, that he's figuring it all out. Like, I would have liked to see something where Percy was beginning to think it was Luke.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a really good point that they could have definitely done it that way. I think they probably wanted to stay closer to the novel in this aspect because Percy had no clue that it was Luke. But I do see what you're saying because in the course of the show, Percy figures it all out. You know, Luke doesn't really tell him or anything.
Yeah, because he still thought it was Clarice till like the very last minute until he realized, oh wait.
That's fair. Yeah, I think this is like one of the kind of the flaws of the show that a lot of people have been pointing to, and I kind of get what they're saying in the sense of they were saying they kind of tell us too much instead of showing, and I'm like, that's fair. I think that would have kind of shown how he would start thinking, who else could it be? So that's a really good point. I do get what you're saying there. But yeah, but then I think what someone else was saying about that whole hug between Percy about this, the fact that Annabeth was like, no, we can't let her suspect that we are on to her because we would kind of be, then they have the conversation with Luke in the cabin. Remember? Yeah. And they're like, we gotta be quiet about it. We gotta, work this out. And I'm like, Luke, you're annoying. And I think what was so good about this though, we had the Luke and Annabeth standing beside each other and they like really were just like kind of finish each other. Not necessarily finishing each other's sentences, but they were like on finishing each other's like ideas and thoughts. And I thought that was really well done. And like Percy kind of getting a little jealous a little bit. He was like this. You didn't see this?
No.
I saw it, but I also was reading into everything. So
also true.
I think he genuinely was like, why is she on his side? Like, I thought we were really, because they have been kind of the ones making the decisions together. And so
he and Annabeth are the married couple, not Annabeth.
Right.
But I didn't notice that. I may have to go back and look at that scene.
Yeah, we're gonna re-binge. It's all good. But I think that was something that I noticed. And also, real quick, we didn't talk about this. Throughout the whole episode, we were getting flashbacks to a conversation Luke and Percy had before Percy went off on the quest with Grover and Annabeth. And I thought this was so great because it was kind of pushing us to kind of like foreshadow, oh no, for those who didn't know it was Luke, they're like, And the fact that Luke starts out the episode, you never wanted to be a half-blood.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, that was good. It was so good.
And also the spider analogy.
Yes.
He told him, he was like, when something small and scary, it gets squished. And I was like, that seems poetic. And I was like, Percy should have been like,
what are you?
Oh, okay.
What? And then had to bring Annabeth in there?
So strange.
Yeah. I was
like, I would have been sus of that. I would have raised my eyebrow. I would like,
Well, he just had to bring up Annabeth. But it was just, I thought that was just really, that was like, what are you saying?
Yeah, because that was funny.
Then the sword fighting, and he was like, when will I ever need this? And he was like, and it was the Ares fight, but then it was also foreshadowing to his sword fight with Luke. And then I can't remember in Last Olympian, does Percy and Luke fight?
It's not here or there. Let's get back.
It's connected. But anyway, I think that was, I love those flashbacks of just foreshadowing what was to come. I thought that was really nicely done. Now let's talk about the lovely confrontation scene where we find out Luke is the lightning thief. I thought this was so cool.
This could have been Annabeth's time to shine. Like, we had her, like, one little outburst at one time. Maybe, like, back in episode 5. Like, we got to see more of Annabeth's character. I think this could have been the perfect time. Because she is seeing how one of her dear friends has betrayed her. And instead of just I heard everything, I needed more. You know, I needed her to be like, after all of this, we trusted you. Like something, like just to see the two of them like really come to the realization about what Luke had done. Because I think even Luke was like, dang, I really messed this up. And that's why he ran off. Because he was like, I can't even face Annabeth. Because he knew how bad it was. But I don't know, like, I feel like maybe if we had a little more there, like, even just a brief conversation with Annabeth and Luke, that could have set the scene on over the edge.
I think my whole thing, I'm not necessarily mad that she didn't say anything. I think my frustration is, I don't know if I like that she just said I heard everything and wasn't upset about it. Like, she was upset about it and obviously grappling with it, but I don't know if I like this change, mainly because throughout the entire series, we deal with Annabeth having to grapple with the fact that Luke is even capable of doing something like this. And the fact that she was there and saw everything and heard everything and, you know, it's no shocker to her. I'm like, right. I want that moment of her trying to grapple with that. I want, you know, Percy and Annabeth to have that kind of disagreement where Percy's trying to tell her, Annabeth, he is not good. And then she's like, no, like, you don't know him like I do. Maybe we can fix him. Maybe we can change him. You know, like, she has those moments because she cannot believe that her big brother did that. I think I wanted to see more of the pain aspect of it or the just disbelief situation rather than her say, I heard everything. They finish the scene. He runs out. Then later on, she's not even talking about it. I think they that was like my biggest problem with the episode, I think, aside from the 2 lines that Poseidon didn't say, I think that was just a missed opportunity that they could have really honed in on. Maybe they'll somehow bring it back up in season 2 if we get a season 2.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be like one of those aftershock situations where now she is like moving forward. It's going to be harder for her to trust people because of what happened with Luke.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Maybe it just wasn't that big in the moment. But then it's going to carry on into the rest of the series. So I think they're probably going to take that route.
Hopefully. Because I think if you just completely get rid of that, it's like, that's a big point of like Annabeth's character growth throughout or character development throughout the story. So that's my only thing. But after all of that, we got this, at the end where everyone's about to go back home. We have this iconic moment with the trio that was just so heartfelt, so sweet. And, Annabeth is going to go back home to Virginia with her dad. And, Percy's going to go back to see if his mom's back. And then Grover's going to go start searching for Fan. He got a searcher's license. I really loved how his searcher's license was a flower. I can't remember specifically that detail in the novel, if it was a flower or if it was like an actual like license itself. But I really liked that. I thought that was such a cute little thing. And it made sense, nature and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. I like the Disney World reference. That was funny. And the way she was like, oh no, did I say the wrong thing? Did I get the whole thing wrong? And then Percy just smiled at her. He was like, just be a kid,
that
Smile!
And you know what was so sweet about this? If y'all have been paying attention to TikTok, Instagram, any of the social medias, they finally posted the video of them all going to Disney World. And so that was like directly connected to the show. So I thought that was just so sweet. They literally captioned from Wonderland to Disney World. And I was like, stop! I was crying. But anyway, that was so cute and sweet. But I love that whole scene. It was just nice. It was a peaceful
very
scene.
wholesome.
And the hug. And the hug. But then the conversation with Kronos. Oh gosh. We had to...
It's not over yet, Danny.
I think what I really love about them, throughout the entire season, we had these little conversations between Percy and Kronos, or, Percy kind of hearing Kronos and not really knowing what he looks like, what shape he's going to take. And this was after he thought he had finally gotten back to his mom, which he did, but it was a dream of him finding his mom. And then she's like, now it's time for you to wake up. Then he had another dream. I was like, child, that's too much for this child. But demigod dreams are really nightmares always. But I think that whole conversation was like really setting it up for that. And also to kind of come back to Zeus and Poseidon's conversation, they talked in ancient Greek. I love that.
Oh yeah.
That was so cool. I was so glad they added that element into it because they come from ancient Greece times. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was like a really good thing. And them talking about the impending battle, and that was really what Zeus was kind of talking about. He was like, I already knew about it. He was like, but thanks for letting me know. And I was just like, shade. But anyway, I thought that was really great that they're really building this up to be kind of the, the monumental moment that it is, because it is kind of building up every single novel more and more closer to Kronos situations. And so I think that's kind of the greatest part of it. So people can like be ready and preparing,
It's exciting.
Yeah, so that conversation with Kronos was crazy. And how the, episode ended, Percy made it through the summer. He's going on to 7th grade.
He finished his narration.
Going off to 7th grade.
Oh, and then it had the blue pancakes and
Yes,
stuff.
blue pancakes. Yeah, I thought the ending was very peaceful and very chill. I liked the ending, and we got the post-credit scene of Gabe getting turned into a statue. Probably going to be sent off to... Oh, well, no, she doesn't have it anymore because her head's cut off. Anyway.
Yeah, that was funny when they were like, return to sender from the gods.
Yes.
That was funny.
That was in the book. I loved it. I loved it so much. But anyway, I truly enjoyed the final episode. I do believe it was my favorite of the entire season. Though, aside from those 2 problems I have with it, again, it was the most Percy Jackson episode ever of all of them. I don't know why, it just was. And it was great.
It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really, really great. So giving that episode a solid 10 out of 10. I actually counted how many or what the score was, and so I think my official rating of the show is a 9.7 out of 10. I actually took the averages and whatnot, so
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's a solid thing. Definitely, it was one of the best representations of the novels that we probably could have gotten. I think for the most part, they really stayed true to the novel. Again, really honing in on those significant moments in the novel. They changed some things. A lot of the things I did like, what they changed. There were some things I'm like, we didn't really need that, or maybe we should have, kind of stayed to the book. But for the most part, a score of 9.7 out of 10, that shows that the show was really, 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 really good. I loved it. I loved talking to Amber about it every single time, watching it with Amber, talking to my friend. Also, in a lot of my friends who were watching it as the show went on, we all loved it. It was such a great job. I really just want to give a serious applause to our cast. Y'all did an amazing, 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 amazing job. I really want to give a strong shout out to our main trio, Walker Scovell, Leah Save Jeffries, Aryan Simhadri. Y'all ate that whole show. I was so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. It is just, I'm just so proud of them and so happy with all they did and accomplished, and really hoping we got a season 2 announcement coming soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, y'all. Come on. But you know what I will say? Real quick. I was watching an interview with them this morning. And this was filmed yesterday. And the journalist at the end of that video, she was like, I really hope you all get renewed for a season 2. Can you tell me why our girl Leah looks over to Walker and Aryan and is like, and then she's like, yeah, I really hope we get it too. And I was like,
Interesting.
And then Amber saw someone saying that Walker and Leah potentially.
Oh yeah, were doing. I think Aryan said it that they were doing swimming lessons. So I don't know. They did swimming lessons for season 1, so maybe they're preparing to do it for season 2.
So I don't know. And I also saw another tweet today saying that the writers have made a lot of progress with season 2. It's looking really good, even though we haven't gotten the official green light yet. They may already have the green light. We just don't know about it yet. So hopefully within the next few days or next week or so, we will actually have a final situation about it. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait. But yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the last episode of this saga of me reviewing every single episode every single week. I truly enjoyed this. I don't think I've ever been this consistent with making YouTube videos. But, of course, Percy Jackson would be the reason that I did. So, thank you to Percy Jackson. Thank you to Rick for really putting so much time and energy into the show. I hope you're happy with the show because it is your story. And I know as huge fans of the novels, and this has been one of my favorite series ever since I was in middle school. I just want to thank again the cast, the crew, the producers, the directors, everybody who had any hand in the show. Disney Plus, thank you all for bringing us the perfect adaptation that we deserved. It is as perfect as it can get, I think. I genuinely think it is a far, far, far cry from the movies. Those movies, they shall not be named. But anyway, the show is amazing. Amber, any last thoughts?
No last thoughts. I agree. I really enjoyed this show, and I enjoyed watching it every Tuesday, so I'm definitely going to miss it. I'm excited for when we start getting those leaked behind the scenes for leading up to season 2. So, ready or not, here we come. I think, I really do think it's going to be renewed, and I think they're probably going to make a spectacle of it. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm also really excited. I cannot wait. Just stay tuned. I will keep you all updated. As you all know, I've been Eat, Sleeping, Breathing Percy Jackson since the news came out, since they started filming. Again, if you all are really, you're not into social media like that or whatever, or just not paying attention, just stay tuned to the channel. I will make sure to make video updates on anything that we get. So as soon as we find out about season 2, I will make a video saying we got season 2. And we'll keep you updated on any other huge announcements that we get for the show. But again, thank you for everyone who has came along with the journey, who've commented, who've liked the videos, who were patient with me for that time I was sick. I really appreciate you all. This is a great time. Just been a fun time. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. But let's wrap this video up. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't give it a thumbs down. That's just rude. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And I shall see you in the next one, demigods. All right, bye.